And it looks like we are live. I love all these little buttons and all these little things that flash on my screen and tell me we're here, we're here.
You actually do like all those buttons and all the flashes.
I do.
I can pretend that you're just being smart, Alecky, Mrs. Geek over there that likes that kind of stuff.
I really do. I enjoy going to these little screens behind the scenes and playing with all these little buttons. Anyway, welcome. This is Conversations with Sherry and Terry Ann. I am Terry Ann Porter, life coach TA. I help women to overcome those lies of negative self-talk by changing the perspective of how they look at things so that they can find those unseen possibilities within themselves, which opens up new pathways onto which they can proceed. And my co-host is...
Good morning. I'm Sherry Berger. I am the owner of Here to There Consulting, and we educate business owners with those tools and entrepreneurs with the tools to balance work, life, and finances. Because our mission is to help you create the life, in your personal life, in your business that you deserve, to find some balance in all of that. Oh, wait, can you ever find true balance? Not really, but I'd love to talk to you about that. So good morning. We have Debbie on. Good morning, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie. So good to see you this morning. Welcome. Today's topic. Oh, go ahead.
Well, and today I have enthusiastic is contagious. Pass it on. Because what is our topic?
Our topic today is the why of our goal.
And if we're enthusiastic about it, it becomes contagious, right?
Definitely.
So the why of why you're doing what your goals are. Remember last week, Terry Ann, we talked about some of our goals.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of your goals this year?
Oh my gosh. Some of my goals this year, we're working real hard. I'm going to pay down that debt. I want to be down to zero debt except for the house. So we're working hard on that. I'm working to expand my personal business and really start doing some more public speaking.
There you go. And then we're going to talk about...
Welcome, Kellen. You found us, and I forgot to send you the message, but I'm so glad you found us.
Oh no, we had Grace that made sure she knew how to get on. I had tea with her last week and told her, and you told her again this week. So we just invite people, and we invite people because our why is right with doing what we're doing. Our why and what we're doing is we're in a pandemic. Has anybody heard that? And that can be a little depressing and frustrating, right? And as a personal coach and as a business coach, we know that you're struggling. So we decided back when we were having coffee, and I think you were going to interview me.
That was how we started out.
We decided, you know what? I think we can go have a bunch of enthusiastic, and it could be contagious, and we could pass it on. So that's why we've been doing what we've been doing. And how long? What are we on, number 17?
This is number 17. Yes.
Wow. So some of my goals this year are I need to lose weight. I've had some health problems. I put my weight back on, and I need to go back and lose it because I got a secret. In 8 weeks, I'm going to be a grandma. So I want to be able to get on the floor and have fun with my grandkid. So there's my why. Not when I say I want to lose weight. Oh, and I want to finish my book. I'm finishing a book that I'm writing. Well, my first book ever. And by the way, writing a book is hard. Just thought I'd let you know. And if you got friends like Terry Ann that kick your butt about it, it's even harder. No way, it's easier. And then I'm also putting a lot of courses and going more online. And I've been doing that all of 2020, but 2021, that's what we'll be doing. So those are some of my quick goals. Happy New Year, Kathy. Good to see you.
Hi, Kathy. You know, one of the things that I want to point out is when we were talking about going this direction, we call it Conversations With, because we did not want to get on and just talk. We wanted people to join in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one of our goals, is to have you join in, use the comments. You notice we are using something called StreamYard. StreamYard has to have permission from Facebook for your name to appear. So we might just see Facebook user, but if you go into StreamYard and go StreamYard.com/Facebook, It will say, do you want to give permission? All you have to do is say yes. Right now, everyone on here, Kellen, Debbie, Kathy, we have your names. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
And what we would like to hear from you today is, I know we talked about last week, right? We talked about all those goals. And we talked about how New Year's resolutions don't always work out. Goals do, because you're going to set them up to be smart. And we talked about all that. So you can go back and listen to that video. But what we want to talk about today is why. Like I said, I need to lose weight because I've gained some weight these last couple of years with health problems. You don't need to know that part. But because in 8 weeks, I'm going to be a grandma and I got to be around the floor and I'm going to be the cool grandma, right? And you want to pay off debt, you said. Mm-hmm. And what's your why in doing that?
To have the funds to do more things that we enjoy and to help others.
Mm-hmm. And those have to be your whys, right?
Yes,
so what are some of your guys' goals and what are some of your whys? And that's what we'd like to hear from you. Mm-hmm. See, Grace and Debbie. Oh, she wanted to make sure that you knew Grace and Debbie. Because we got a great tribe that supports us. And a bunch of you guys are on here today. And we really, really appreciate it. But like we said, our why for doing this is to help others in this crazy time. Get a little bit enthusiastic and contagious to pass it on, right?
Pass it on. And something that's why you're thinking about your whys and sharing it with us. The why has to be your why, not someone else's. Sherry, you talked about you want to lose weight and why you want to lose weight. That becomes yours. If instead your husband were to say, you know, honey, I really think you ought to lose 15 pounds. You doing that, it's not your goal now, it's his goal. So we need to claim ownership of our goals. Exactly. So why are we doing it? And are you owning it? Is this your goal? Or this is a goal really somebody else wants for you? Because then you've got no desire to participate. You don't have that enthusiasm.
No, you don't. And you're going to lose it, right? Because the why has to be. So if my husband calls me fat and says I need to lose weight, that's probably not going to be a good motivation for me.
That's right.
I don't think my husband would do that. But I'm just joking. And I was talking about getting out of debt, right? I'm actually a financial.
Now, why is it when I freeze, I'm in this awkward position? You freeze and you're in this nice smile. Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah, right.
Technology is so unfair.
It's because Facebook and StreamYard loves me, not so much. Anyway, back to what I was saying is, I'm a financial coach, and I was telling you earlier that if your reason for getting out of debt, right, is because my parents think I should. I mean, this is what younger generation, right? Mm-hmm. You probably wouldn't maybe say that. Or my husband thinks I should, because you both have to be on the same page, right? You have to have the right why. So, and then I did a little bit deeper with that, right? I happen to live my life debt-free. And I had friends that bought a really cool Ford Expedition. And we just bought a pull-behind trailer. We just bought a pull-behind trailer, right? So we wanted something, and my husband has a big Ford, whatever. But anyway, they could buy a nicer, newer vehicle because they choose to do car payments. We don't do car payments, so we bought a 2003 Ford Expedition that we had to pay for cash. But you can't worry about what the Joneses are doing, right?
Right.
When you have your own why for what you're doing in your life, then you need to live by your values, what you're doing in your life. So just because your friend wants to eat whatever and doesn't want to lose weight doesn't mean that, that you can eat whatever and not, right? We need to do that more. Both of them need to be 80-20. But yeah, Debbie, that's exactly right. Not for him, but for my health. But wait, Debbie.
And it won't be healthy for him to say to you that you are fat. Not healthy for guys to do this. and vice versa.
No, but remember, if you heard when I first got on here, my why is because I want to feel better and have more energy. You think I need more energy, guys? I don't have much energy. So I need more energy. When I want to be able to get on the floor and play with my grandson, right? That will be here in 8 weeks. So that's
I love Kellen. Kellen has a great goal. Get a certain amount of money in savings this year so that we have a little breathing room in case something happens with jobs and whatnot. 2020 and so many people losing their jobs scared that goal into me. I want our family to not fear financially for tomorrow. Great goal.
Exactly. That's awesome. That's a great, great goal to have an emergency fund. Because remember what grandma used to say? Save for a rainy day when it happens, not if. Some reason we just think it's an if, but we have a when, right?
Yeah, it's when.
Happen. Up and downs are going to.
Sure.
And believe me, I can tell you it's better when you have an emergency fund when you don't. I've tried both. I prefer the emergency fund part. It's a lot easier.
It makes getting through that easier.
Really, really good goal to have financial security in knowing if something happens, you have a backup plan, right? So that's
backup plans. I love backup plans.
Yeah, backup plans are always a good idea to have, though, right? In all aspects.
I love backup plans. I know that when I set my own goals and I work on my path towards it, I go through that. But what if? Okay, what if? Here's what you're going to do if that happens. I find out most of the time it doesn't happen. But if something does happen, I've planned for it. Hey, I've already got this figured out. One less stress, keep on moving forward towards my goal. It doesn't have to end the goal.
Well, I am married to Mr. UPS driver, and he's been gone 50,000 hours a week. I don't even know. And next week he's on vacation, and Terry Ann and I had a conversation, and we decided that maybe Sherry should step down for a week and actually go hang out with my husband next week. So I won't be here next week, but we are still keeping our commitment of being here every week. So most weeks, both of us will be here, but sometimes, just like normal people, we need to take vacations, right? So you were saying that stay focused on your goal and move forward. We have the emergency fund that David Ramsey teaches, and now we are just saving for more. That's exactly how the baby steps work. Being that I'm a certified financial coach through David Ramsey, I will tell you that. Yes. So that's exactly how they work. We just celebrated, well, I guess not just, we're going to be married 27 years. But what was it, a year ago, last October? We went to Hawaii because somebody turned 50. Okay. I turned, what was it? I turned 30 for the 21st.
Oh, you're just a child.
So anyway, when I turned 50 and we were married 25 years, then we purposely made a game plan. It took us 2 years, but we saved up without using our emergency fund to go to Hawaii. And it felt so good just to go to Hawaii and be totally cash free and have a plan and everything. So I want to give you attaboys for that, because I will tell you it's amazing to do it that way. And yes, to have emergency fund on top of the emergency fund is important. Because who knows what 2021 is going to have in store for us. But we can plan, right?
We can plan. And the thing is, if you still have the goal in mind, it doesn't matter what 2021 throws at you. The goal is still there. You might have a few obstacles, but keep the goal going. That's what we did in 2020. We had goals. Just had to do, jump over a few rocks and climb over a few fences and make our own gates along the way. But if there was a goal, the goal didn't change because the obstacles came in.
Guess where I'm supposed to be this month, Terry Ann?
Where are you supposed to be this month?
On a women's business cruise.
You are?
It's not happening, and I'm one of the speakers.
But what are you doing? Because with that, you had a goal to have a women's business cruise, to attend a women's business cruise.
Well, yeah, and there was a bunch of us, and unfortunately, one of our speakers even passed on, but our goals have gotten all right, and some of them have said, okay, well, we can't do this. And I went, no, you guys going to do it with me, or I'm going to do it by myself. And along the way, I have a friend named Terry Ann that I've got into doing it. And yeah, so we're going to have one. Now I'm putting it off a minute because I'm having to refocus and find different guest speakers and things. But I got to put it together, and we're doing it in either March or April, aren't we? We have not quite put it on the calendar, Terry Ann. And
it won't be a cruise. It's going to be online. Create your own.
It's going to be a women's summit online. Same idea.
We can make it a cruise. We'll put pictures of water behind us. But see, your goal. You still had the goal.
But I could have said, oh, crap, now I can't speak and I can't go on a women's business cruise. Yes. Instead, I go, let me realign. I prayed about it. I've been finding people along the way. I'm writing my book that was supposed to be No, I'm not going to say supposed to be done, because you know what? I had a goal when my book was going to be done. Then we went into a pandemic. Then guess what? My book is still getting done. Right? I was just tidying up chapter 1. My daughter tore it apart on me. Oh, wait, she edited it for me. And I'm giving her the introduction next. And I'm doing it one chapter at a time just to get it through editing to get it all. But anyway, my point is, just because your goals don't go exactly how you plan, you still can pivot and get them done. Right? Yes. I'm still finishing my book, and I'm still going to do this women's summit, and we'll let you guys know more about that later. But yeah, and Terry Ann's going to co-host it with me. So there you go.
So the goal is still there. The path just changed a little bit.
Yes. And maybe the people that I want to say that God has on the bus, because if you've heard about that book, you know, Who's on Your Bus, the people that God might have on my bus might be a little different, but I'm still doing the same goal. So there you go. So anyway, what are some of the goals that you had to readjust this last year for 2021? I mean, I'm asking the audience and I'm asking you, Terry Ann. So if you guys wanted to comment and what your why behind those goals were.
I had someone challenge me last year. At the beginning of the year, I was challenged to do a TED Talk. She'd heard several of my speeches. I want you to do a TED Talk.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the goal. Well, so my goal was to do enough public speaking in front of people physically that I could work towards that. Well, that broke down. Can't do the in front of people physically, but that hasn't stopped me. That's part of doing this, part of my, starting a YouTube and such. I want to get out there. I've still got to keep practicing, because you don't just walk on a TED Talk stage. I have to improve my speaking skills. So I have my Toastmasters, where I have been consistently doing speeches, improving my speech writing, my speech giving. So that's where my goal, one of my goals for last year. So it's not quite there, but the goal is still there because I want that. I didn't think I did it till she mentioned it.
Are we doing it first quarter? Are we doing it second quarter? Are we doing it? Come on, we need a specific date, or
need a specific date. I'm going to say by the end of 2021, I would love to at the very least, have submitted to give one. I understand there's a whole submission process. I've heard other people who've submitted. I know there's a whole process. I'm at least going to get involved in it before December 31st.
And I think you told people that we're Toastmasters.
Did I mention Toastmasters? Ew. Yes.
Oh, is that how we know each other? Through Toastmasters? Wow. We're both coaches and we do Toastmasters. And because we do Toastmasters, maybe Terry Ann can explain a little bit more. We have a survey on Conversations with Sherry and Terry Ann because we want to be better business people. Well, let me see. I joined Toastmasters because I had a fear of public speaking. I know nobody will believe me. And has it been 14 years later? I always tease that you go into Toastmasters to improve yourself and you stay to help others, right? But anyway, and by helping others, you grow as a person, right? That's how Toastmasters sort of set up. But anyway, you always want to be a better business person. And we want to be a better speaker. So we have a survey that we would love for people to fill out. Plus, what is our why for doing this? Terry Ann.
For doing the survey?
No, what is our why for doing Conversations with Sherry and Terry Ann? Because we want to serve the community and we want to help people in this pandemic. We would like for you to get to know us a little bit better too and follow us and, but ultimately, and so if you fill out the survey, guess what? We can offer more topics that people would like us to talk about. So that's another reason for doing the survey. Good morning, Grace. Grace, you're not late because you're just on time, because we were just asking for people to give us a survey, which we have in our group, on how we can improve Conversations with Sherry and Terry Ann. Maybe some things that we do well, some things that we could improve, and some topics that you'd like to hear. Because we are always working on trying to become better business owners, better communicators, and better Toastmasters. And
the only way you can improve is to accept that feedback and grow from it.
Yes, but which we love to do. Debbie just said one goal is to have more people follow my business page. Each page has a number goal. What does that mean, the number goal part? One goal is to have more people follow. I understand that part. I don't understand that each page has a number goal. Oh, do you have multiple pages, business pages?
Oh, how many people she wants on each page?
And what is your why for that? What is your why, Debbie, between, wanting, like we always say, we want more likes, we want more followers, we want more. I get that, but what is the why behind that, right? So if you come up with your why, that would be good. But, Debbie, I know for a fact that you belong to a bunch of great networking groups that would be more than happy to like your business pages and help you follow along. And if Terry Ann or I are not liking them, just let us know, and we would be happy to go out and like other people's business pages.
Debbie is such a great encourager, listener, promoter. I'll tell you what, just like being around Sherry, you get around Debbie and you walk away very encouraged, feel very respected and honored. We need people like that in our lives. And I guess that's one of my goals. I want more people like that in my life.
You mean there's some people that if you hang out with them, you might accidentally start believing in yourself?
There are some people that I've noticed can do that. Yes.
I always like to say, if you hang out with me too long, you might end up going somewhere. To educate people on different topics. Okay. So I think the best way to deal with that, Debbie, I'm just going to give a quick high level. And of course, we're not having a one-on-one here. So, and later, if you want to, we can do that. But what I would suggest is that if you want people to like your business page or you want to educate people on topics, why don't you talk about some of those topics and say, hey, follow me here for this information, right? Because I have that with my YouTube channel. Right now, I am out putting out all kinds of educational material. I'm doing 7-day challenges. I have masterminds. And so now I put it all on my YouTube channel, right? And so if people follow me on my YouTube channel, then they can get that free information and advice from me, a business coach, financial coach. You will have a little bit of information to help impact you. Mm-hmm. So if you give people a why they should follow your page, and then you share it on your personal page or share it in your communities, people will end up coming and liking your page. But sometimes just to get a bunch of likes is not a good goal. And you're like, what? Because why are you getting a bunch of likes, right? So if you have a bunch of likes and you have people following you that are not maybe interested in, being in your community, how does that really help, right? So it's finding those ideal clients, ideal people to have in your tribe, your community. So, and that's same thing with building your YouTube, your Facebook page, all those. So, Debbie, I'm sure you have great educational material, though, for sure. So
I know she does.
So anyway, there's a little bit more of figuring out what your why is. So, and Grace has a great page, and hers is very, of course, encouraging and on gratitude and reflection. And there's some great people that are on here right now that have great things to give to the community and encourage people out there. And I think what we really, really could do, and Terry Ann and I talked about that, is self-promotion, promoting each other, not self-promotion. What's that called? Promoting others, right? Mm-hmm. So if you really, really believe in somebody and you really like what they're doing, promoting them would be a great idea.
I think the ultimate question when you set your goal and you set out to do anything, the question is, why? Why do I get up every morning and go to this job? So that I can support my family. Why do I get up? Why do I do this? And if you don't have a solid why underneath it, it's real easy to set it aside. So how do you keep your why in front of you? What do you do, Sherry, to remind yourself?
Well, if you have a vision board, my vision board's right over there. I could bring you my vision board. You have a vision board. That's a good thing. I have a one-page business. It's not really business plan. It's a one-page business and personal plan of what goals you're trying to accomplish and what habits you need to do along the way that I teach on. And so you laminate that and put that up in your office. You have a vision board, put it in front of you. My mission, or on my business's mission, is to help individuals create the life in their business and their personal life that they deserve. And so having a mission like that, believe me, through the pandemic, there were some days, well, wait a minute, a lot of people said they didn't get up and get dressed and get in their office. But because we were in a pandemic, I had to get dressed, get up, and get in the office because people needed what I could offer them. And it wasn't about me. So I think if we make our whys, right? Like I even said about losing weight, so I can be there for my grandsons. We'll be here in 8 weeks. Oh no, I'm not like really excited about this, right? But my point is, if I can be there for, my kids, or I can be that. Yep. If you find that why that makes you cry, Grace said.
Oh, I like that.
Well, I talked about that 7-layer down. Like, I think you talked about why you started your business. You know why I started my business? It breaks my heart that people's families and lives are falling apart. Do you know there's so many divorces? There's so many people in so much debt. It's causing their marriages. It's causing their families, right? And then you got a business, all those problems. And I see hurting people in that. And so it just breaks my heart because I love people and I love families and I love the impact. And even if you're single, right? When you talk about families, those are your friends and your relationships. And it breaks my heart to watch people falling apart. So how about if you had your finances in order and you have your personal life in order and you have your business going and you could create that life that you deserve in those areas? I get high off watching people get from here to there. I know I just made a pun on my business, but that's my big, big why. And Grace, it can make me cry some days. And right now, through this pandemic, I'll be honest with you, the first 2 weeks of this pandemic, when we went into lockdown, I didn't know what to do. I was paranoid. I didn't know I'm paralyzed because my business owners and my entrepreneurs were struggling. And I was praying and I was meditating about it. And I finally realized that if I can help one business, one person, and do it one at a time, and that I couldn't help everybody. If I could in life, I know I'm really getting on my bandwagon here, I would help everybody, but you can't. So guess what? I can coach and I can help those that are ready, right? I love that saying, when the teacher's ready, the student will appear. And so if I can make an impact in a couple people's life, isn't that better than none?
Yes.
So I had to finally just say, I'm going to go out. My little tagline started being, I'm going to go save as many businesses or entrepreneurs as I can, one at a time. Right? But some of them went under. Do you know small businesses I worked for went under? Those were divorces or deaths or whatever you want to call them. Do you know how bad those hurt me? Anyway, sorry, I'm on my bandwagon over here. That big enough why, like Grace was talking about, that could make you cry. And I know, Terry Ann, what's your big why? I mean, I know you have a huge passion for what you do, and I know Grace does. Grace, you could tell us your big why in the comments.
Negative self-talk, as I have struggled to fight it myself, really has made it so that I can see many other people who hold on to that. And I want to start to point out that negative self-talk and say, no, you don't talk to yourself that way. You would not talk to your daughter that way. Why do you talk to yourself that way? And so that's become my mission, is to start. First of all, you have to even recognize that you're doing it. And then once you recognize it, let's start to replace those lies with truths. And like I said, even I would like to lead a boundaries course here. I'm going to start one pretty soon online. And what I'm finding for myself, if the more that I teach it, the more I learn. So I'm out there to learn for myself and to share it with others.
Good morning, Debbie. I'm really glad that you came on. Unfortunately, we're almost at the top of the hour. But Debbie, what we would love for you to do and put in the comments, and for people that didn't, is we talked about goals last week, and this week we're talking about the why you have those goals. And we were teasing about these two. I'll just throw them out here real quick. If you want to lose weight, don't do it because your husband says you're fat. I want to lose weight and I want to do it so I can be a great grandma. I'm going to be not a great grandma. I'm going to be a first time grandma, but so I can be a good grandma to my grandson, right? That's a good reason. Terry Ann talked about wanting to get out of debt. You can't want to get out of debt because your husband or your parents or somebody else wants you to. You have to want to get out of debt for your own reasons. And hers was what? For traveling and to be able to help more people. Mm-hmm. I find that people who really find their why when they tell me it bring tears to both of our eyes. Yep. Because that's what you were born for. That's your passion in life, right? So anyway, what are we going to talk about next week? And I'm going to be on much needed vacation with that UPS driver of mine that I haven't seen much. He's on vacation next week. So I will be, I guess, not stepping down, but I won't be here next week. And Terry Ann, what are you going to be talking about?
Intention. How badly do you want your goal? What are you willing to do to achieve that goal? So next week, it's still talking about intention. We're talking about goals. We're going to talk about goals all through January. We're kind of breaking it down into pieces. Today is why. Next week is the intentions. What will you intentionally do to achieve that goal? So we are excited. We're at the top of the hour. Thank you all for joining us. Come back next week. Let's continue the goals conversation.
Have a blessed day.
Bye.